The bronze to former Attorney General Alberto Gonzales. His tentative speaking engagement at Pomona College in California canceled after two numbers came into play. This according to the chairperson of the Student Speakers Committee, Kelly Schwartz, as quoted in the school paper. First number, Mr. Gonzales asked for a fee of $35,000. Number two, the number of Pomona students who actually expressed an interest in hearing him speak was 0. Our runner-up, E.D. Hill of Fixed News, rounding out a weekend of absolutely psychotic Fox coverage, politicizing the hostage situation at the Hillary Clinton local headquarters in New Hampshire last Friday. The hostage taker, Leland Eisenberg, an emotionally disturbed man who had concluded he needed hospitalization and was not getting it, apparently saw a Clinton campaign ad in which another New Hampshire resident said Senator Clinton had helped him to get health insurance. He reportedly told a relative that he was, quote, going to do something to get into the hospital. So E.D. Hill says, quote, something about what Senator Clinton said just sort of drove him over the edge. That's kind of what it appears to sound like. Just sort of, kind of what it appears to sound like? She didn't drive him over the edge, Ms. Hill. She drove you over the edge. But our winner, Lou Dobbs of CNN, who has been teetering on the edge of madness for a couple of years now, and last night stopped the teetering part. A critic from the LA Times, CNN's partner in an upcoming debate, accused CNN of improperly tailoring the first half hour of its YouTube debate last week to reflect Dobbs' personal obsession with undocumented immigrants. The latest Wall Street Journal NBC News poll suggests the topic is only the 5th highest priority among American voters at 11%. The latest Pew poll says it's only the 6th priority of Republicans. Dobbs thinks it's the only one. The critic called CNN corrupt. Strong language. But of course, on this topic, Dobbs is corrupt and hypocritical too, as we'll examine in a moment. First, though, let's play the tape of some of Dobbs detonating, largely because at this point, I'm sad to say, my impression of him consists of only the 3 words. I'm Lou Dobbs.
Imagine that. We offended the little liberal Lily. Not only was Rutten apoplectic that presidential candidates would actually have to deal with the issue of illegal immigration, but Rutten's tortured mind crushed his own sense of reason and managed to conclude that CNN focused on illegal immigration to create a larger audience for me. Did Rutten notice I was not involved in that debate? The candidates get a little nervous if I'm in the same building. Rutten, you either don't know how to read a survey, a poll, or you have no interest in the facts. Or you're just another elitist partisan, and that explains why the LA Times continues to lose readers. You're a lousy media critic, we all knew that. But now you've stepped into advocacy, and you're even worse at that. And you don't even have the guts to come on this broadcast and discuss your corrupt reasoning and partisan activism disguised as media criticism. Too bad. We would have loved to have discussed the issues with you, but you're not really interested in reality or truth. You're a media critic of sorts.
He sounds passionate about immigration, the way, say, Senator Joe McCarthy was passionate. But actually, it's hypocritical cant. As noted in the book A Sunday Horse by Vicki Moon, Dobbs has 2 daughters who have for years been passionately involved in show jumping, the upper-class, super expensive, elitist world of horses and hurdles. Show jumping depends on, and Lou Dobbs spends his money indirectly employing, hundreds of the very people he rails against each night. After mentioning the Dobbs' family involvement, Vicki Moon writes of the sport, this melting pot of international equine aficionados does not include the countless numbers of illegal Spanish-speaking immigrants who shovel the 40 tons of poop a day. In other words, weeknights, Lou Dobbs threatens illegal immigrants, and on weekends he pays them to clean up after his daughter's horses. So Lou, get serious one way or the other. Drop your racism, thinly disguised as warnings and threats about illegal immigrants, or get your daughters and your money out of a sport that could not exist without them. Better still, why don't you go clean up the 40 tons of poop a day yourself? On TV, you seem pretty good at shoveling it. Lou, do as I say, not as I spend. Dobbs, today's worst person in the world.